So we've got the Chinese diesel water heater, and this is the controller and remote that we've got on this. So I've just tested it and got it running on the bench to make sure it works. So we've got the 12 volt pump, which actually turned up faulty. It turned out that the impeller on the inlet side here was actually jammed on the shaft. So if you ever have an issue, undo the 3 screws. There's a little washer and then the impeller, so take the impeller off, and then I had to run a 5.5mm drill bit through so the impeller could spin as it was jamming on the central shaft. So you'll see what I mean if you do have this issue. So we've got 25 litres of water. Everything's just rigged up temporarily. Battery, which to be honest is pretty low at 12.1 volts, but still runs absolutely fine. Pump is a 22mm. So we'll get onto this. When it turned up, the remote was already paired, which is a little bit of a bonus. So that works absolutely fine. It seems that it's got the setting for high altitude is automatic. So higher I put this, it actually changes, and if needs be, automatically reads that. So on these controllers, it's pretty much the same as a Chinese. So this is to do with timers, which I've not really got into, don't really need this. And then settings, so the settings on these, it's exactly the same as before. So it's 1, 6, 8, 8. So FU1, this is relating to diesel petrol. This model only works on diesel, so FU1 is diesel. This is the lower limit of the hot water, and this is the higher limit. So when it gets to the higher limit, it obviously cools down to the 65 previous, but you can change these settings on here, as you can see, if you wanted it hotter, cooler, etc. So the pump on the 22mm is set at 1.8 from factory and 5.6 Hertz, with a fan speed of 2000 lower limit and 8650, which I'm going to play with this because it sounds like an absolute jet engine, does the fan, which you'll hear in a minute. So if we go to the next settings, so we've got 12 volts, 24 volts, obviously I'm running 12 volts, so we can just flick it onto that. PF5, so this is the glow plug. So PF5 actually refers to, we've got to be quick, otherwise I'm going to have to put the code back in and flip through all these. So the PF5 is, where's my controller? Oh, it's already gone off. PF5, which we actually had an issue with this with the diesel night heaters, so the actual fans. So the ignition, so PF5, this is a glow plug. So PF5 is actually a glow plug at 90 watts. My diesel heater that I've got in the van for the fan actually was on 70, and when I upped it to, I think put it on 6, I never had any issues with starting. So that's what the PF1 means. So put this code back in. So like I say, that's diesel, that's petrol, but these only work on diesel. This is the lower limit temperature, so it comes factory set at 45, but I don't want it to go that low because I'm going to be putting mine through a heat exchanger so that I can use it for window cleaning. So I'm going to put mine through a heat exchanger to create hot water to the reels. So I've got mine set at 65. Oh, zoomed in. Higher limit 85, absolutely fine. Pump lower, pump higher, 2000 fan speed, 8650 on the higher, which, like I say, I'm going to have to turn that down because it sounds like an absolute jet, but I'll have to play with the pump speeds to sort that. So you're 12 volts, PF5, like I say, glow plug. So this is for 70 watts, 75, 80 watts, 85 watts, 90 watts, 95 watts. So that's for your glow plug. So it's set at 5, it works at 5, so I'll leave it at 5. EU1 and EU2. So EU1 is where it'll get the water up to 85 degrees and it'll just turn the machine off, and then that's the end of the story. EU2 will get the water up to 85 degrees and then it will basically turn off, and then when it gets to your lower limit, which is previous one here, I think got mine set at 65, it'll start the machine back up and it'll go. So EU1, it'll be get it up to desired temperature and it'll just turn off. EU2, it'll get it up to desired temperature, it'll turn off, but then it'll turn back on when it reaches the lower limit, which, like I say, you can set it in here. So that's that. There's your settings. So that's everything. So if we just turn this on, you'll see what I mean by a jet engine. The pump runs straight away. So glow plug is lit. Water is circulating, I hope. It's quite a good. That shifts a lot of water. So I'm hoping in a sec we'll have the pump light up here and this will start clicking. I haven't actually worked out as well. So temperature settings, we've got L 09, 08, 07, 06 all the way down to 1. I don't know how to turn that into temperatures, but I'm guessing that's just how many kilowatts I'm guessing it's going to be putting out, but it doesn't seem to make a difference too much as to what I actually set this at. The higher limit, lower limit is set in the settings, and that is it. So the pump's now going. And it's lit. So yes, I'm inside, doors open, it's close enough. Like I say, I'm just jerry-rigged into some kerosene at the bottom, just to make sure. And it's failed. Battery's too low. Right, let me swap the batteries. Don't recommend just pulling it off, but given it's only just lit, that battery's been in here and running the pump for ages. I would edit out, but I'm not very good at editing, so you'll have to just bear with or skip. Let's try again. That's got a bit more power than it did a minute ago. one thing I did notice, which I actually, when I looked at the Webasto thermotops, they seem to, I don't know if it's because the pump's quite quick, but the water doesn't get hot instantly, so it takes a while to heat. Let me just make sure it starts and running, and then I think that'll do for this video, because I just wanted to show you the controller and the settings, as I've been scratching my head on them for a few days and I can't find anything on YouTube. So this is just pretty generic, but just wanted to get it started, and then you can see. So 25 litres from tap, where went from, so cold tap water outside, went from whatever that was. This reads over, so this was actually reading that the tap water was 18 degrees, which it isn't. There you go, it's lit again. So it went from 18 to 65 degrees in 30 minutes. Like I say, everything is a little bit noisy. I am going to look at getting a different pump. I've got an airlock in my fuel, as you can maybe see. But anyway, it's lit for now. So it's saying the water's 21 degrees, but I can tell you now, it's not. So that's how it's running, and the water could be 21 degrees. It has been in the garage overnight, and the garage has got central heating, so anyway, that would go from 21 degrees, but it's only going up now. But half an hour from stone cold tap water to 65 degrees is half an hour. So I hope that helps. And yeah, that's it. And then here's your down. That's your down. Quite delayed, very. So I'm probably 200 meters, but yeah, that's it. Enjoy. I'll do another video when I get a bit further on with it. I'm putting it all into this, so I'm going to have a coolant tank at the top circulating the water with a heat exchanger and everything else, but I'll do more videos as of now. But keep you posted.